Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is video 8 in our Vlogmas series, and for the first 7 videos we have been diving into how to set your planner up. We have been talking about the beginning pages within my planner, setting up your goals, setting up your yearly plan, thinking about your routines, and the different sections that you want to choose for your planner setup. So all of those beginning videos have been about setup, but within the next few videos within our Vlogmas series, we're going to be talking about your planner system as a whole. This video in particular is what to do when your planner system is not working, how to evaluate your planner setup. And I wanted to talk about this because I usually will try different iterations of my planner setup beginning around October for the brand new year. So October and November, I'm really trying to perfect my system as a whole. Usually I am setting it all the way up in the month of December. That way by January, I'm already in a system and I'm not trying to work things out at the beginning of the year. And so these are my months of experimentation. And I recently just made a change to my planner because I realized something about it was not working for me. And I wanted to dive into that and talk about the 5 things that I will evaluate when I feel like my planner isn't working, because I feel like that this might help you on your journey. A lot of times we will try a system and we will try and make it work for us no matter what. And sometimes the system is just not working and you have to make tweaks to it, but you may not know what the problem is. So this video is going to help you to evaluate the problem so that you can correct your setup before the new year. So let's talk specifically about my setup, and I'm going to talk about the different things that wasn't working and how I could evaluate it. So initially I had 6 planners within my setup, and one of those planners that I really wanted to try was a maintenance planner. My maintenance planner was really to manage my overall routines and to stay on top of a lot of house items. Now that was a dashboard planner that I had right after my to-do planner. As you can see, I have removed that planner from my setup, and let me tell you why I decided to do so. The first thing about your planner system is having a clear purpose around every single section of your planner. With my maintenance planner, it was very, very new to my system. However, every time I tried to set it up, I felt like I was rewriting something. So I would put something on my schedule planner, but I felt like I was just rewriting it in my maintenance planner, and it didn't have a clear purpose, which that is my reason number 1. If you can't find a clear purpose for every single section in your planner, it becomes harder to use your planner consistently because your mind can't decide what you're using this for. And so I have everything on my schedule planner. So the idea was I was going to use my schedule planner in order to mark off the time for a particular routine, like my AM routine here. And then I was going to use my maintenance planner to actually check off all of the items that I did within my maintenance routine. However, the challenging part about that was that I was kind of writing the exact same things every single day. And when I tried it out, it just felt like I was repeating myself over and over, and I didn't like that feeling. What I started to do is brainstorm another way that I could complete the exact same task without adding another planner. And what I decided to do is to pull it over to my habit tracker. Now, my habit tracker is something that I have added into my planner every now and then. However, it is a more permanent part of my system, especially now that I am thinking through the maintenance planner. And I realized I don't need to keep track of all of my routines within a planner if I am able to keep track of them within my habit tracker. So I can add all of the things that are within my AM routine, my PM routine, any other routine that I might have, and instead of putting it in my maintenance planner, I can add it to this habit tracker and just check off how often I do it. And then that stops me from having to rewrite something over and over. And so this is something that you need to think through. Does every single part of your planner have a specific purpose? If it does not have a purpose that is clear to you, that makes sense to you, that feels like you can definitely do this on a consistent basis, then it may be time to evaluate and to think of another way that you could possibly accomplish the exact same task. I realized that I didn't want to rewrite the same things over and over, and so adding it into my schedule planner when I am going to do it and adding to my habit tracker all of the things that I was going to do basically eliminated the maintenance planner altogether. So the first reason why your planner setup might not be working is because you don't have a clear purpose for every single section of your planner. The second reason your planner setup might not be working is that that purpose no longer serves you. Having my planner set up by subjects definitely helped me in the past with staying on top of different areas of my life. So I would have a home planner, a church planner, a work planner, and that served me very well for a nice long period of time. As many of my roles started to kind of overlap, like a lot of the things that I do for church, I also will do for my work. I consider a lot of my work ministry as well. So my church and my work life were overlapping, and with my schedule, I needed to see everything in one spot. No matter where I needed to be, no matter what subject it was, I needed to see it so that I wouldn't double book myself. And so I started to realize that arranging my planner by subject was no longer working for me. And you have to evaluate if your planner setup, the way that you have structured your planner, is still working for you, if it still flows the way that you need it to flow. So something as simple as changing your topics on your tabs can make a big difference with your brain. And that brings me to my third point, and that is using the wrong layout for your brain can definitely hurt your planner setup and can make it not work for you. So many times I have tried to use a particular setup just because I like the layout of the planner. So I love the dashboard planner. I have used it in the past for social media and for other things. However, currently in my life, for some reason, the dashboard planner is just not clicking for my brain. Every time I have tried to use that planner layout, I have not been able to use it consistently. I love the way the dashboard planner looks, but the vertical planner layout definitely works better for my brain when it comes to my to-do setup. So if your planner is not working for you, then evaluate, am I using the right layout? Experiment with other layouts. Print out different sheets, add them to your planner, and try it for a couple of weeks before you invest fully in another system. Because something as simple as your planner tabs and your layout can definitely throw off your entire system if it just doesn't work for your brain. Fourth reason why your planner setup might not be working for you is your setup is taking too long. One thing that I have realized is if my planner setup takes too long for me to do, then it's going to be very challenging for me to remain consistent. So within my planner, I have 6 tabs. As you see, since I have 6 tabs, I've always tried to have 6 planners. However, as I've been evaluating my planner over the last couple of months, I realized that I have not been able to be consistent in 6 planners basically since I started. I've always desired to be in all 6 of the planners because I felt like there are 6 tabs. I wanted to have 6 planners. It was just a nice even number and it felt like it fit the system perfectly. However, my setup was taking too long and I wasn't using everything within my setup. So now I have 5 planners and then I have an other section for all of my inserts that are additional inserts that help me to manage my life. So all 4 of these are basically as the week is going, which means I only have to set up my schedule planner, and this entire setup makes sense to me and it will not take me that long. If your planner setup is taking you more than 45 minutes, I would evaluate your setup as a whole, because setting up your planner for the week and it taking 3-4 hours may be manageable for a short period of time, but over time it's going to be very difficult for you to stick with it. Time yourself with your next planner setup. See how long it's possibly taking you to set all of your planners up. And if it's taking you too long, evaluate what could you possibly remove from this setup? What layout could you possibly change in order to make it easier for you? And the 5th reason why your planner setup might not be working is you do not have a planner routine. If you don't have a specific time that you are going to sit down with your planner and look at all of the things that's within your planner, schedule your day, plan out your to-do list, think about your meetings, think about your budget, then it's going to feel like your planner setup is not working. But it might not have anything to do with your planner setup. It could be your planner routine and the fact that you don't have one. If you're just using your planner whenever you think about it, or just setting it up at the beginning of the week and you don't have a time where you're actually actively looking through your planner, then this is going to stop you from using your planner and it working for you on a consistent basis. Now, we did an entire video a couple of days ago on my planner routine, and so I will link that above, but I do advise you to have one and to write it down in a place where you can see it so that you can actively do it on a consistent basis. But definitely have some type of planner routine. It will help you overall with your system. So that is it for today's video. I hope that this one has helped you, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye, guys.